Hi everyone, Great Power 60 here. Just thought I would share doing my dishes with you while we chat. Um, so a lot of my videos have been, kind of mishmash, whatever I feel like doing at the time. So I decided, well, let's vlog for a while, chit chat while I'm doing the dishes. Unfortunately, I like the water running, so I hope it's not interfering too much with. I always do my dishes this way. How do you guys do your dishes? Do you put them all in a pot? I mean, if you don't have a dishwasher, which I don't have. So I constantly let the water run, and that's how I do my dishes. Fortunately. Now I bought this tray to put in the bottom to catch any, when I'm peeling potatoes or cleaning things or whatever, but I find it gets so greasy. Or, I don't know, maybe it's made that way. I find a lot of the plastics today are made that way. And I use Dawn detergent. Let's turn this down so it's not quite so noisy. I use Dawn detergent, which is supposed to be a grease cutter, and it always has been in the past, but for some reason it's not taking off all of the grease, or at least, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's our water, maybe I do a lot of greasy stuff, I don't know. Anyway, so I did a DIY yesterday and the day before, or the day before yesterday, and about my little bird's nests. I really liked those. Those were really cute, and I didn't know what I was doing, so next time I do one, it's going to be so much easier because I won't have, that first time experience. I'll be able to at least do them better. So I know that not to use quite so much soaking it in glue, that'll be one thing that I'll be able to kind of figure out. I got a couple of pots. See, what you're seeing now is basically all the counter space I have in my apartment. This is it. One counter. Opposite me is my stove, my microwave stand, and my fridge. This is all I have for a kitchen. And I mean, even though it's okay because there's just me, I find I can't do a lot of, I can't do a lot of stuff in here. I bought myself a mixer and a blender. I got no place to put it, so I have to put it on my counter. I find the lighting in here is really bad, even though I'm using 60 watt, which is the highest I can use. I still find that it's dull in here. Now I have a light beside the camera that I'm using, but I think I'm going to have to get two small ones. I have a little indentation here. I would love to get one of those under the sink lights, even if I have to run it to the plug. But I just find I have like no counter space. It is just, this is it, So I don't know. I just thought I'd show you this. Isn't this adorable? It says, may there always be an angel by your side. I was going to use it for like a spoon rack or a tea cozy, but it's too pretty. So I just kind of sit it right over here. I still got that pot to do. I'm just going to let it soak for a minute. And I've got I used to throw out all my jars, and I found that sometimes I would need a jar for one job or another, and I never had them. So yeah, I really like a light in this corner, and when I was filming I found the light was too bright, so I'm gonna have to figure out something. I have drawers over here on my counter. I've got two cabinets here. One has got my garbage in it and my cleaning supplies, and the other side has got like cat food and pots and extra stuff that I have over there. So I don't know, I might have to put my blender, my mixer is like too big to put anywhere. Maybe I could put the blender up on the fridge. Trouble is, I use it a little more often than I use my mixer. I mean, it is pretty up there, but still I find it really dark in this corner. Doesn't take much to clean, but I just find, you know, it's dark. I find it dark. And I have my stove light on. I've got my dining room light on, but I still find it too dark. When I put the light over there, I'm much happier. The thing is you can't see, you know, when I have the camera on this way because the light is too bright. So, and then of course once I've done my dishes and I put my pots and pans away, and I put the rack away, well, I always like to keep this pad out because it's just handy to put things on when I'm washing something very quickly. So I don't know. I don't know. And the cupboards I have over my stove, well, I got my spices in it, and I've got, all the cupboards are full. They're just full. And it's not just, it's, you know, baking supplies and sugar and flour and things like that. So it's really difficult to, you know, and I've thrown away a lot of dishes. I was thinking of getting myself a small cabinet, and I thought of even putting it under, I don't know if you can see, I've got a mirror in the hallway there. Kind of a little small pantry, but I'm not going to be living here that long, so I don't want to, you know, I don't want to do that because when my stepfather goes into a nursing home, my mom and I are going to be moving in together, and my mom is so looking forward to it, and I'm so surprised. We were out grocery shopping today, and I was buying a few things. I was buying some garlic, honey garlic sauce from, from the Chinese section of, or the Oriental or Asian or whatever you want to call it section, International Foods, of the grocery store. And Mom said, well, what are you going to use that for? And I said, well, I like to make, you know, I used to make meatballs from scratch, and they had a sale on at the grocery store of meatballs, frozen meatballs that were Life Smart, I think they're called, or something. And I was going to put them in and soak them in the sauce, the meatballs in the sauce, and then have rice on the side and something, you know, a little veggie, probably snow peas or something, because I think some of them call them sugar snap peas. Either one, I love them, and that's what I was going to have for supper. And Mom said to me, it was the cutest thing, she said, I can't wait till we're living together so I can see all the different foods and stuff that you make. And I thought that was so sweet. She is really looking forward to moving in with me and having a life. I mean, I've got the pets. I'm worried about my dog because he has not been friendly with, when I moved in with my son for 2 years with his family, he was not friendly with them. I mean, he tolerated them, but no one could come into my bedroom. He was so protective, and I don't want my mom to ever be bitten by my dog. Although I love him and he's my baby, but my mother comes first, right? So anyway, we shall see what happens. The funny thing is, she was the only one that he would go to. I seriously, when I used to live in my apartment and Mom would come and visit, this was a few years ago, he was wagging his tail. He would jump on the couch. I had a lower couch, so he didn't have to jump so high. This one here that I have now, he's got to be lifted up because it's too tall. And wag his tail and put his head on her lap and just loving all the attention. And then after I lived with my son for a while, anybody who comes into the house or whatever, he is just nasty. He attacks them, and I'm really, really nervous about that. That's really bothering me. So I don't know. I'm really worried about that because he is not the kind of pet that you can give to somebody else. Not that I would do that. I'm just saying, if anything happened to me, I would be frightened that, I don't know. This sounds really stupid, but I always thought, because I've always wanted to be buried. This is going to sound really dumb. We're getting off on another subject just a little bit. But my dad was cremated, and Mom and Dad had a double urn for the two of them. But since she's been with my stepfather for over 20 years, they've already got some burial site at the military, which she really likes. And anyway, so she gave me Dad's spot, which means I'd have to be cremated, right? So if anything happens to me, the dog would not survive anyone else. I've tried leaving him and getting my son to come over and take him out. I used to bring him over to my daughter's, but after he snapped at the kids, and the kids have had dogs, they are not rough, they are not, I mean, they would just walk by and he would start barking at them for no reason, and I don't know when this started. Actually, I think I do. I think it started when he started his sight. It's almost like cataracts that he has. It's apparently quite common in his breed, as dachshunds' eyesight is not important. It's their nose. Their nose and their digging ability for going into like foxholes and badger holes and groundhogs and things like that. That's what they were built for, trained for. So, if something happens to me, I'm afraid that he may have to come with me in my urn. I know that sounds really weird, but they might have to put him down because he is not the kind of dog to be friendly to other people. I mean, he loves other dogs, but he doesn't trust people. And the funny thing is, my daughter-in-law used to take him for a walk she had a great deal of difficulty getting the leash on him, but once it was on and they were out walking, he was fine. So, you know, I don't know. I think about all of these things because life is funny and you've got to, you know, you've sort of got to plan for stuff. And I plan, well, at least in my head. I need to write it all down to make sure that people know. My cats are okay. I mean, you know, cats are pretty versatile. They'll kind of shun their new home for a bit, maybe a month, a couple of weeks, a month, till they get to know their surroundings. And then they're pretty good with, you know, being wherever because they're fairly independent. But dogs, being the social animal that they are, don't do well with new owners unless they're a young dog or a very friendly dog. But when you have a dog like mine, I don't know. I really worry about it. I worry about it. So I'm worried about Mom moving in with me, and I don't know how that's going to work. I think I'm going to have to leave that soak for a while in this water. I was going to wash out my sink and disinfect it. However, this is it's just the store brand Selection mild honey garlic. It's really, I have to get the label off of it so that I can use it. Repurpose it. Repurpose it. Now my tea's gone cold. So this is the little tray that I put in the bottom of my sink to catch all things. I don't know, maybe it's the kind of plastic they use today. I just find it's, I call it greasy. I don't know, slippery. I don't know if it's like a cheap plastic or what, but anyway, have a cup of tea, Donna. So those are all the things I think about when I'm doing my dishes and cleaning and stuff. I have a very small counter space. I'm going to show you here. So what you were sitting on was my Royal Albert set that I got when I retired. It's a, not a dinner plate, it's sort of a large dessert plate, a saucer, and a cup that I got when I retired. They had asked what I would really like, and I said, well, I love teacups, I collect them. So there's my counter space. I mean, that's it. That's all I have. That's it. So, you know, I have to really make do with what I've got. And I have nothing on the other side. Whew. Well, I guess that's it. I've got my dishes done. I'm going to leave the water in there for a bit and let it soak. And then I'll be able to take the label off of that little jar, and I'll be able to use the jar again. I use it for different things, different leftover stuff. Thanks for joining me and watching me do my dishes, and we'll see you soon. Like, share, subscribe, and thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all your comments. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.